him all day.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve Owens, one of the tournament directors with Tennessee Bass Nation. What we are is a kayak series that practices a measure of catch, photo, and release. And so when we catch a largemouth spotted or a smallmouth bass of some sort, we measure it on a measuring device, take a photograph of it, upload it via an external app, and then we release the fish immediately. That's the most humane and conservation-minded thing you can do to a fish. And then we judge the best 5 fish in this tournament based off of inches, where we award money to 10% of the payout field. So this is the 5th event of our season. We're here in South Pittsburg, Tennessee, part of the National Cornbread Festival for 2026. We're hosted this weekend along with South Pittsburg and the Cornbread Festival with Lodge Cast Iron. Lodge Cast Iron has been here for, do you know how many years?
130 years.
130 years. A lot of good men and women have raised their families here in South Pittsburg and surrounding areas by working, with the Lodge family and other proprietors that have come in and helped keep the business running. Turned it into a worldwide brand, literally have. So we are, myself with Daniel Davis and Jesse Clark from Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers in Chattanooga, we're able to partner with Tennessee Riverline, and as I mentioned, South Pittsburg and Lodge through connections that some of us have. And then Jesse fostered that relationship earlier in the year at a UT football game. So it just goes to show, no matter where you're at in the country, like-minded people find themselves. Tennessee Riverline is a huge, huge advocate for people getting out and getting on the water in any capacity they can to fish. Because fishing not only is a stress reliever, it's a huge economic driver for a lot of the places where we live, but it also is a huge family element. Much like me, who grew up on Nickajack and then moved to Chickamauga, you just create a lot of memories with your family, lifelong friends that you meet when you fish in some of these tournaments and events, and then it turns over into recreational fishing, which is, for me, one of the best things that I've ever got to experience in my life. A lot of fond memories with my family, as I mentioned. But so here for this event, we had 68 people fish. So we're going to pay out 7 places, along with a Sniper Marine Big Bass. And then from there, the top 10 who aren't qualified already will fish in our state championship that gets you to the Bassmaster Championship if you aren't able to fish the Bassmaster Open. So if you've got any questions about getting into kayak fishing, reach out to me. Again, we want to thank the Bill Dance Giant Bass Open for being our presenting sponsor this year. We're a part of the Bill Dance Signature Lakes, also a part of Fish Tennessee, Tennessee Vacation. Tennessee's a phenomenal state. We get to travel the country with what we do, but it always feels good to be back home here in Tennessee. So I'm going to step out of the way and let these guys take over the Tennessee Bass Nation Awards along with TBKA. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing up out here and supporting us in South Pittsburg.
Thank you, Steve. All right, as Steve said, we had 68 anglers come out to Lake Guntersville. There's 431 fish caught, a lot of big fish. We had 3 really big bags in this tournament, which is awesome. To give you an idea of how many big fish were caught, there was 22 fish that were 20 inches and over. If you're not aware, that's going to be a 5-pounder immediately and above. There was actually 5 22-inch fish caught, which did not make big bass, which makes me cry a little because I caught one of them. So I'd like to thank some of our sponsors, get that out of the way first. We're always scored by Tourney X. Lodge Cast Iron, phenomenal. They've been a big sponsor for the TBA group through this season. Dugout Bait and Tackle. Carl Black, Angler of the Year. We do a $1,000 guaranteed Angler of the Year prize, and Carl Black makes that happen. Sniper Marine sponsors our Big Bass. I think this is our 4th season with them doing that. And then Native Watercraft is another good one. We've got a lot of other sponsors that help us out. Those are the ones we want to mention on the stage. I always like to talk about, or basically look at or announce your 15th all the way up to where we're going to get this, some check spots. Steve said, you know, we're paying out 7 places in this, but we do have a check for 10th all the way to 1st. But 15th all the way up to the 11th spot. Chris Franklin was 15th, Rob Sinker 14th, Josh Stewart 13th, Colin Franklin 12th, Jamie Sexton was 11th. And the top 10 qualify for the state championship. We don't do roll downs. However, if you're in that top 10, you've really done something, you get to qualify for the state championship on Dale Hollow. So that's gonna be phenomenal. In 10th place with 91 inches, Ryan Becker. All right, come on over here, man, let's talk. So tell us about your day, anybody you want to thank, and you know, how much fun was this like?
Just my wife, really. She stays home with the business. Busy weekends lets me get down here. Just got back to Caddo last week, came down here this week. I live in Indiana, I'm southern Indiana, so I try to get down here. I just like to travel, get going wherever I can to fish. But really appreciate all you guys down here. I don't always have a good time down here. Got down here yesterday about noon on the water. Super windy, trying to get out on the river. Couldn't get nothing out there. So I found some, got some bites on the speed worm late in the day. So that told me something for later in the day today. So this morning it was calmer, got out on the river. Had my limit by like 9:30, rotated. Chatterbait, fluke, underspin, wacky, all that. At 10 o'clock, had my limit. Decided to go shallow with the speed worm. Got my first one, saw it blow up. It was my biggest fish, 20 and a quarter, I believe, or 3/4. After I got it there and I was measuring it and everything, I saw bluegill everywhere. So I know what I was doing the rest of the day. I put my 3 biggest fish the last few hours with the speed worm in Maine. And I think the last one put me in 10th with 10 minutes to go.
Great job, man. I like the dugout bait and tackle hat. That's one of our sponsors. Did you get to visit the store?
Yep, got my kayak there this year in December. Got the new baby there.
Awesome, man. They're one of the best in the game. Congratulations. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Ryan, you bet.
And he also gets a cast iron skillet. That's fantastic. In 9th place with 91 1/4 inches, Ryan Becker, you also got a state spot, by the way. In 9th place with 91 1/4 inches, he's not here. Jimmy Davis, great job. You got a state spot. We've got a check for you. Jesse did a good job of modeling it for you.
Photoshop.
In 8th place, also with 91 1/4 inches, he had the tiebreaker. Alabama angler Mark Davis. Come on up, man. Mark is already qualified for the state championship. He's a constant in our series. Not the first time he's been up here. Great job, man. Tell us about your day. Anybody want to thank?
All right, well, the day started off a little bit concerning. Caught a 12-inch fish, and I had not caught a 12-inch fish in the spot. So I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to play out. But about 20 minutes later, I caught a 20 and a half and then a 19 and a quarter. And I was like, oh yeah, this is more along the lines of what it's supposed to be. And I just built that limit as the rest of the day went on. So I want to thank God, my wife, my kids. They're the sponsors. They're the one who helped me get to do this on the weekends and enjoy it and get to come hang out with you guys.
Great job. Congratulations. In 7th place with 93 inches, this is the first payout spot, taking home $175. The current record limit in any Tennessee Bass Nation tournament. He had 106 3/4 inches. I'm stating that for a reason. Come on up, Daniel Lyons. Great job, fantastic, great day. Tell us about your day. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, so got out of practice a couple days this week, caught a lot of good fish all over the place. Went out to the same spot where I did have the record for a while, and started off real shallow, just caught a limit real quick to get it out of the way on top water around Shad Spawn, and then moved out to about 20 foot of water and just was stroking a jig pretty much for 7 hours today. And bites were few, wasn't a lot of bites, but they were the right ones, and yeah, just was having a solid day. But definitely want to thank you and Steve-O for running the trail, Dugout Bait and Tackle, Little Miami Outfitters, make some of the best rods that you can get in between there. Some of their glide bait rods and their spinning rods are absolutely great. Caught a lot of fish on those this week. Copper red baits. Came out a couple days ago to the prototype, a new swimming frog prototype that's coming out. Caught a 20.5 on it and a few more. It's gonna be a nice little frog to add into the arsenal, and Hobie fishing, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, man. Great job. Congratulations. If I didn't say it, he had 93 inches. It's a fantastic day. In sixth place with 93 3/4 inches, with taking home $195, Maryland angler Jordan Lovejoy. Also no stranger to cashing checks. Great job, man. Congratulations. Tell us about your day and anybody you want to thank.
First off, just want to thank the Lord above for just an awesome day of water, keeping everybody safe. And I just went around and threw chatterbait all day long. Did throw another bait. I'm not going to name drop it because I was told not to. So did not land any fish on it, but that's about it. And chatterbait's been key for me lately. Finally figured out that I need to just do what I'm comfortable with and just run around and throw it. So that's what I've been doing. It's been working out pretty good for me. And yeah, thank you to Dugout Bait and Tackle, Hobie Eyewear, AFCO, Little Miami. One rod that Daniel didn't mention is their chatterbait rod. They make one of the best chatterbait rods on the market. I've been keeping them bent all year long, and between Dale Hollow, Caddo, and here, it's been a killer rod. So, and thank you all.
Awesome, man. Great job. Congratulations. Hopefully we don't have any more tall people up here. It hurts a little bit holding up that high. Oh. In fifth place with 94 3/4 inches, taking on $362 and earning a state spot, Russ Snyder. Congratulations, great job, man. Tell us about your day. Anybody you want to thank? I like interviewing you, it's always fun.
Cool. Yeah, thanks first of all to you and Steve-O for running such a great trail and giving us opportunities to, fish at such great fisheries. And Guntersville was, yeah, definitely showed out today for a lot of people, a lot of big bags and a lot of boats. But it seems, even with the pressure, they keep biting, so it's cool. I was fishing brim beds, just on a kind of combination of a bunch of lures, chatterbait, fluke, a couple on a gilly, brush hog, and yeah, couldn't get any big kickers, but had a bunch, in that like 16 and 19 inch range. It was a really fun day. Thank my sponsors, Bonafide, Music City Outdoors, Yak Attack, iRod, Catch Outdoors, and Torquedo.
Great job. Congratulations. This fell in line pretty well because we were going to announce this anyway. This is going to be a dual award here. He gets a couple of things here. Sniper Marine does our big bass every year. This man is going to take home $340 for the Sniper Marine Big Bass with a 23 1/4 inch largemouth. He also had 98 3/4 inches. He's going to earn $391. He also earned a state spot. Former state champion Chris Walters. So you get 2 checks, you get this beautiful trophy. I'll give you all this to hold. I'll hold the mic for you. We'll make it real easy. Congratulations. Tell us about your day and anybody that you want to thank.
That big one was on a purple cricket in the swimming area over here. No, it was actually, it was a good deed. I fished yesterday. My biggest fish was 16 inches, but I got on a swim bait bite. And middle of the day, Jesse was still trying to get his limit. I said, I've got a spot marked over here. I caught some 14, 15 inch fish yesterday. I said, let's go over there, you'll get your limit. I went over there, I made 2 casts, and I caught that 23 1/4. And Jesse was not videoing, unfortunately, but it came out of the water 3 or 4 times, and it was a pretty good battle. And then it fought me on the measuring board pretty good too, to get a picture. But it was a good day. I caught all my fish on swim bait in 2 or 3 foot of water, lily pads, and shallow grass.
Anybody want to thank?
Thank you. Thank Steve. Thank all these guys for having this kayak tour. This is a fun trail.
Last time this man had a microphone in his hand and blessed us all, it was a good show in karaoke.
You gotta fight for your right.
Pretty sure this guy,
Said he was going to do a good deed for me, but he took the first cast.
this next gentleman, I'm pretty sure he had one of his best days on the water ever. He also earns a state spot, or actually he already earned a state spot. Taking home $451 with 100 inches, Mike Cheatham. Come on up, man. Typically, if you roll up with 100, you're going to win. Yes, you're right. Give you that to hold as well, man. Tell us about this phenomenal day and anybody you want to thank. I'll hold the mic for you.
Well, I went to the spot where I found fish, and I fished for 2 hours without a bite. So it was great. It was a great way to start. And then I ran into a guy fishing off a dock. I rounded the corner and I had line in my face, so that's how my day was going. And then I just started casting in 2 foot of water with a Cinco. A weightless Texas Reef Cinco, just throwing it. And I never fished over 2 foot of water. And then at the end of the day, I caught back-to-back casts. I caught 21-inch fish with a frog. So it's just lucky day. I threw in the same spot. I thought they were carp, but I said I'm gonna throw out. I ain't got nothing else to do. So that's just the kind of day it was. It was awesome.
Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, Candy Fork, they've been really good to me through the years. Ryan up there kept me in boats and stuff like that, so it's been a pretty good relationship. My wife, in case she sees this, thank you. So that's it, man.
He owed us a lot of money, so he's only taking home $2. So just letting his wife know.
Yeah, no, $2. And thanks, I showed up today, sorry I missed the last one. I'm not gonna listen to that again. So.
What color Cinco was it? Is it any of the ones you
They
want?
bit everything. Yes, they bit everything you throw as long as it was black and blue. That's the only thing I couldn't touch.
Great job, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank God for the Cincos, because y'all keep me up.
In second place, also had a phenomenal day. I got to fish by this gentleman today, and he kept throwing back 19-inch fish because they couldn't help him. Back to back to back to back. Slightly frustrating, but it doesn't really sound like a problem when you break over 100 inches. In second place, earning a state spot with 103 1/4 inches, taking home $900, Joe Kirk. About to be a father soon, also Joe Kirk.
Hey Daniel, tell Logan that was a typo, it's $300.
Yeah, and also look, his wife's here. I messed up. It's only $300, not $900. So Joe, tell us about your day. Anybody want to thank?
Well, one thing is your day too, because we split. We both fished history, and he caught a 22, right off the bat with a koiki under a bridge. And I went left and I found nothing. And then I found a mat that was the size of this room that was just on fire. I stayed there all day, probably caught 50 fish, and the ones that I had, yes, I had 100 inches right off the bat, but there was a lot more big fish that came off. But that's how it goes. I'd like to thank Texas Power Paddle, Hooked Up Baits, and Southeast Tackles.
Awesome, man. Great job. Congratulations. Also, I forgot to mention we have 3 prizes for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Bubba's one of them. They make really good products. They make a really great visible measuring board, scales, pliers, fantastic. We've got a free pair of glasses, Hobie Eyewear, and then a Guardian Angel Light. They're all sponsors for this season. So Mark Davis, Jimmy Davis, and Ryan Becker, we get to pick that up here in just a minute. But, as I mentioned previously, there was a record of 106 3/4 inches, and it got broke today. This man had a phenomenal day with 108 1/4 inches. 108. Take it home. $1,606 Ewing Minor. What's that up? That's our new trophy. I think it looks really great. So tell us about your day. I mean, it's a phenomenal day. It's just crazy. Great job. Anybody want to thank as well?
First and foremost, I got to thank God. I was blessed with just an incredible day on the water. I caught so many big fish. It's just unreal. I wasn't even measuring like 18 and 19 inch fish at the end of the day because I knew they weren't going to help. Caught them on the kitchen sink. I went out with 10 rods rigged up, and I think I caught them on 9 of those rods. Caught most of them. Well, I guess everything in my limit was, scoping deeper grass, some bluegill beds. I threw glide bait, Senko, chatterbait, koiki. Caught some on a speed worm. So it was just go fish somewhere, catch a big one, go to another spot, catch a big one, catch 5 big ones in one spot. Just couldn't do anything wrong. Just a great day out there.
So you caught a 22 1/4 inch, a 22 inch, a 21 3/4 inch, another 21 3/4 inch, and a 20 1/2 inch largemouth. Kitchen sink, junk fishing all day and made it happen.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Brody. He did tell me, he was like, there's an area with some big ones, I can't trick them, which the big ones up shallow that he was seeing with his eyes were incredibly smart. I tried to catch some of them yesterday and I had one of them bite. I pulled off a little bit deeper and they were everywhere. So he kind of put me onto an area. I think I caught 4 fish yesterday in practice, but had the right size bites and just went in with my head down and caught them.
Awesome, man. Anybody want to thank?
I got to thank Dugout Bait and Tackle, Hobie Eyewear, Little Miami, Newport Vessels, their motor as well as their 100 amp hour 12 volt low pro. It's an incredible electronics battery. If you forget to plug up your battery and you run 2 graphs like me, you're still good. It's got plenty of charge. So yeah, I really like that thing. It fits great inside of a black pack, under your seat, wherever. It's designed truly for kayak fishing.
Newport's a great sponsor of the club as well.
Yeah, I guess that's all. Thank God. And Tennessee Bass Nation for putting on some of the best tournaments in the country.
Man, appreciate it. Congratulations. Great job. That's amazing. New record. So maybe somebody will hopefully deem to beat it at some point, but I think it's going to stand for a little while. Fantastic, man. All right. I'm going to hand this over to Jesse to get the TBKA standings out of the way.
All right, like we said before, I'm Jesse with Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers. We're a grassroots kayak club on the Tennessee River, based out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. We fish a lot of the waters around here, like Big Jack, Chickamauga, Guntersville. We occasionally do some away trips up north, and we have a Collins River tournament later in the year. But this club was founded over 10 years ago. It's been going strong for a very long time. It was, Steve Owens was the director previously, handed off to me, and Sassy still keeps me in check and keeps everything running pretty smoothly. I want to go ahead and thank a few sponsors. First and foremost, Lodge Cast Iron for hosting us. They've been a wonderful host for this tournament, and they've been a great sponsor for us all year long. A lot of the prizes that we have this year, some of the bigger awards that we haven't had in previous years, we owe them to Lodge Cast Iron. Real Deal Tackle has been coming through with a ton of tackle giveaways for us. We're going to give away over $3,000 worth of tackle at our events this year. We're averaging around $500 worth of giveaways at each and every single event. That's just show up, door prizes at our events. So Real Deal Tackle, big part of that. Dugout Bait Tackle, Tremont Tavern in Chattanooga, Hooked Up Baits has came through really big for us this year. There's so many sponsors that we have. You can see them on the check. It's a really long list, but we want to thank them. We're going to do this a little bit more abbreviated. I'm going to bring up the top 10. Daniel Davis, Colin Franklin, Jamie Sexton, Rob Singer, Joe Kirk, Chris Walters, Daniel Lyons, and Ryan Becker. Yeah. All right, in 10th place we had Josh Stewart with 55.5 inches. I don't think Josh is here. Had to go home. And in 9th place we had our co-director Daniel Davis, 55.75 inches. How was Dave? Can you tell us about it?
Hey, it's good to be interviewed for once. So I started my day with the second place Tennessee Bass Nation winner, and you know, as he mentioned, he went left, I went right. I threw a quickie in a bridge and had a couple little bites. Oh, well, no.
You broke a bell.
I broke a bell today. But, you know, I did break the bell. I was like, all right, I've got foot control steer in the dugout, break that up for me, so it was really good. And so I threw a quickie in a bridge, and first fish was a 22-inch largemouth on 8-pound test fluorocarbon. So it took me about 2 minutes to get it in, drug the kayak everywhere. Other than that, I threw it back in there, immediately caught a 16-inch fish, threw it back in there, and had one break me off, and it was the only quickie color of that, and they didn't want to hit anything else. So I tried to jump fish, did everything I could, went and searched my good friend Joe Kirk to see if he had another of that bait. He did, but he found something pretty cool and said, hey, come fish this with me. So the rest of my fish came on a frog and mats and on a lizard. So I'd like to thank the Dugout Bait and Tackle, Jesse for being the main man of TBKA and doing all the heavy lifting. I just get to be pretty, and that's it. Thank you for Lodge Cast Iron for hosting us.
Did all that on 2 hours of sleep. Yeah. All right, in 8th place with 56 inches, Colin Franklin. Tell us about your day.
It started out all right. Well, actually, I lost one like in the first minute, but I was getting pretty consistent bites on a frog, and then it just kind of died. So I had to figure something else out, and that was a swim worm. It was a cutter worm, I guess what they call it, a rage. So I started throwing that. Got a couple more big ones, or decent ones. And at the end of the day, I figured out wacky rigs under docks was what worked the best. And had a big coal, like a 3-inch coal for that 19 3/4. I actually used my inshore rod that I use out in Florida. throwing wacky rigs on those docks because it has 30-pound braid on it to yank them out. So, but
Anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank God for pushing those thunderstorms out of here. I was kind of concerned about that going into the day, and thank you guys for running the tournament trail and life back home. And yeah, it's fun.
Great job. Great job. Then in 7th place for 56.5 inches, Jamie Sexton.
It's a pretty good day. We started out Little Rock Point, had 6 fish and 6 casts, and then I commenced to lose 2. But all of those come on like a little creature bait. Middle of the day, I went and filled my limit with scope fish. I could have second caught 15 to 17 inches all day long. Knew that wasn't gonna do nothing because I'd already seen the leaderboard. So I went looking for a different fish, and I ended up finding bedfish at the end of the day with 30 minutes left. Caught the male, which is 19, and lost the big female. But good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
Anyone you want to thank?
It's my wife and y'all for holding this. This is a fun time for us.
Appreciate it. And then 6th place for 56 3/4 inches, Rob Sinker. That's what you did.
I came down here, we got here Wednesday, me and my dad, kind of had him dialed in. I mean, I give you guys a lot of credit that had a lot of fish on different baits because I was pretty much just had him on one thing. I could only get him on a creature bait, and that's the only thing I could get him to eat. But it was enough to get a pretty decent bag, and we had a lot of fun. We caught a lot of fish today. And we caught a lot of big ones in practice too. We were trying not even to set the hook on them, but they were kind of just walking off with it and setting themselves. And this is the 4th time we came down here in the last 5 years, and Tennessee Bass runs a great series. You guys run a great series, so it's always a blast to come all the way down here. And it's a good time. It's a great lake, and you guys take care of it really well, and it's appreciated. Make the long trek all the way down, but it just kind of had them on the same weed line, and it was just a lot of fish, a lot of cookie cutters, but the big ones were mixed in, and it was they had the 200 boat tournament, but made it work, and caught a lot of good fish, and we had a great time. Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome. Anyone you want to thank?
My parents and my family just for the support, and always trying to push me to do better and get out here and do all these events and lifting me up when I'm feeling a little down about things. And yeah, that's about it.
Right.
All right, thanks.
And then in 5th place with 57.5 inches, Russ Snyder.
Well, yeah, kind of told you guys everything I was doing as far as baits and lures and stuff I was fishing. We've got a couple more tournaments coming up at Guntersville, and it's really been showing out. I'm looking forward to those, and hope they'll join you guys another one later this year, maybe at Chickamauga or some of your later schedules. Appreciate it.
We always appreciate you jumping in. Thank you. And then in 4th place with 58 inches, Ryan Becker.
Well, these fish in this limit really were my last 3 fish of the day. That's where after I moved out the river, went shallow, got that big one, then I saw the bluegill, just kept about megabyte speed worm in my hand, jumbo color, all the rest of the last 2 hours or so. And put those 3 big ones in the boat, with the last one coming, about 10 minutes left. I appreciate all y'all having this. Y'all do a great job running these trails, and I enjoy coming down here and spending some time down there.
Just move down here, man.
I'm trying to get my life.
Got good tax rate, good fish. Congrats. And then in 3rd place with 58.5 inches, Daniel Lyons. Congrats again.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to retell everything from earlier, but I just want to, probably for all of us standing up here, just thank you for not signing up for TNBNKS. That's all I got.
And then in 2nd place, TBK's own, the GOAT, 62.5 inches, Chris Walters.
Baby. When I caught the 23, I thought I had Joe
by a tiebreaker, but apparently he was on a magical mat that had 25, 20-inch fish in it or something, and he ended up beating him. So.
You also had big bass in this tournament, 23.5 inches.
Yeah, today was unreal. In a kayak tournament, today, that's my biggest fish, my biggest 3-fish limit, and my biggest 5-fish limit in the kayak tournament. So it was a big day.
Do you have enough wall space to put all these checks?
I'll find some.
Congrats, Mason. All right, in first place with 62 3/4 inches, on him all day long, Joe Kirk.
Thank you. I'm just glad that he didn't enter this tournament. No, love TBK. You know, that's what started all this. Grassroots, you know, it starts at the bottom, and, you know, we're able to do conjoined tournaments, and hopefully we can grow this here with Lodge and everything with South Pittsburg. And Real Deal Tackle's done a huge deal for us with tackle, being able to do giveaways. We weren't able to do that here, mainly just because of rain and we couldn't have enough people here. So hopefully we can figure that out. But it was a fun tournament. I can't wait till the next one. So,
All right. Thank you. Guys, really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. We had 43 anglers today. We've been really consistently on our attendance. Thank you for going through all the hurdles you had to go through to get into the parking spots and everything. Really appreciate it. Everyone have a good day.
Everybody that won money in Tennessee Bass with a check, please come up. Or actually, anybody that got a check, come up for Tennessee Bass. We're going to do pictures with you. Also, you can see us next time on Pickwick, May the 16th. Jesse, when's the TBK next one? We don't remember. We'll post it.